tell three, to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the time we have spent, we have tried the hasty-footed time for parting us. Oh, is it all forgot? All school days' friendship, childhood innocence? We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needles created both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices, and minds had been incorporate. So we grew together, like to a double cherry, seeming parted, but yet a union in partition. Two lovely berries molded on one stem, so with two seeming bodies, but one heart.
This is a tombstone. Robbie came home in pieces. He wasn't even a whole person. A few days after the funeral, they found more pieces, and they had to dig him up and bury him all over again. I have a shoebox at home where I keep what they sent me of Robbie's belongings. There's a letter in there. I've only read it once, and I don't know if I'll ever find the strength to read it again, but I remember what it says. He must have written it not too long before he died. It's like he had some kind of premonition, like he knew something was going to happen to him. If you're reading this, Mama and Daddy, it's because I'm being sent home wounded or cold in a box. I hope it won't be the second, but if it is, please give some of this stuff to Leanne and keep some of it for yourselves. And then the very last line, there's not any punctuation and it doesn't end with a period. It just says, on the way home, or goodbye for now. I was always taught that war was a bad thing, but that there were times when it was necessary, and in those times it was important for us to pull together and listen to our leaders and decision makers. That's what I was taught, and that's what your daddy and I taught you, Robbie. We tried to be good citizens and raise you to be the same, but rest easy, son. Rest peacefully. See.
Help me with these, would you? It's as hot as an oven and my arms are asleep. Oh, hello. Oh, I must look unbearable. You know, the sidewalk, it's practically melting. I could swear I actually saw someone fry an egg. I've had the most horrible day. I've been to the city. I got the most cunning little black sheep, gold Dolce and Gabbana, in a sweet little suit. So eyes me. Yes, dear? Oh. Emma so seldom brings boys around. Isn't he charming? He's charming. You are so charming. What's that? Oh, you like my dress? I need a hot drink and a cold bath, or the other way around. May not be my day. Look at me if you dare. I perspired through my clothing. I'm a wreck. Where's Flo? Flo, dear. Where is she? Flo, our maid, Flo. Oh, you know Flo, wears a wig, walks with a limb. Where is she? Oh, well, I hope she's okay. You know, I hope nothing's happened to her, because I'm thirsty and I seem to be without a staff. Thank you. Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage? What beast wast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than that. Nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck. Know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it were smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
There she is now, our fine Mistress Queen Isabel, queen of the slave seller. You'll be wanting a spot next to the fire, I suppose. Wouldn't want for our Belle to catch a chill. I wonder what Master'd say if his poor Belle caught a chill. I'll tell you what he'd say. Look at my Belle, sick as a dog and shivering. But yet she's still working, though. Nothing stops my Belle, no sir. What's the matter with you, girl? Can't you see you're hurting the rest of us when you work like that? Next thing you know, Master will have us up all day and night. What happened to the children? When will they rest? And the old folks? And you said Master promised you. You know he lied, right? When did Master ever kept a promise to his slave? Nothing's fair. We's the slaves, and he's the master. I thought you were smart, girl. But I was wrong. You are stupid. Horses work till they drop in. So do you. And as stupid in a horse as stupid in a slave. Because working hard won't set us free. It just kills us sooner. That's all.
To ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up. Good, I would say. I want to be good. Becoming good was much harder than becoming a doctor or an astronaut or a lifeguard. There are tests to pass to become those things. You have to learn dissection or conquer gravity or practice treading water. Becoming good was not like that. It was abstract. It felt completely out of reach. It became the only thing that mattered to me. If I could be good, everything would be all right. I would fit in. I'd be popular. I would skip death and go straight to heaven. If you ask me now what this means to be good, I still don't know exactly. Growing up in the 50s, good was simply what girls were supposed to be. They were good. They were pretty, perky. They had a blonde Clairol wave in their hair. They wore girdles and waist cinchers and pumps. They got married. They looked married. They waited to be given permission. They kept their legs closed, even during sex. In recent years, good girls joined the army. They climb the corporate ladder. They go to the gym. They accessorize. They wear pointy, painful shoes. They wear lipstick if they're lesbians. They wear lipstick if they're not. They don't eat too much. They don't eat at all. They stay perfect. They stay thin. I could never be good. This feeling of badness lives in every part of my being. Call it anxiety or despair, guilt or shame, it occupies me everywhere. The older, seemingly clearer and wiser I get, the more devious, globalized, and terrorist the badness becomes. I think for all of us, there's a particular part of our body where the badness manifests itself. Our thighs, our butt, our breasts, our hair, our nose, our little toe. You know what I'm talking about? No matter where I go in the world, whether it's Tehran, where women are smashing and remodeling their noses to look less Iranian, or in Beijing, where they're breaking their legs and adding bone to be taller, or in Dallas, where they're whittling their feet in order to fit into Monologue or Jimmy Choo's. Everywhere, the women I meet generally hate one particular part of their body, and they spend most of their lives fixing it, shrinking it. They have medicine cabinets full of products devoted to transforming it. They have closets full of clothes to cover it or enhance it. What I don't understand is how someone like me, a radical feminist, could spend so much time thinking about my stomach. It has become my tormentor, my distractor. It has become my most serious committed relationship. I've tried to sedate it, educate it, embrace it, but most of all, erase it.
Cheek, else would a maiden blush bepaint my face for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I've spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word, but if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully, or if thou thinkest I'm too easily won, I'll frown and be perverse, and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou may think my behavior light, but I swear, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those who have more coin to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess. But that thou overheardst ere I was ware, my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered. See.
It's funny, but I was the last one to see them alive last summer. There were only 7 of them in the world, and the zoo had 4 of them. I used to walk down there every night, just to watch them standing so still on the water. And then one night, a gang of boys came by with their radios to their ears and cursing real bad, you know, F and everything, and they started saying things to me, you know, dirty things, and laughing at the birds. And then one kid threw a stone to see how close he could splash the birds. Another kid threw a stone to see how close he could splash the birds. And they were all throwing stones to splash the birds. And then they started throwing stones at the birds, and I started screaming, "Stop it!" But a stone hit a bird's leg, and it bent it like a straw. And the bird keeled over, flapping its wings in the water, and the kids, they kept laughing and throwing stones, and I kept was on the water. The water was real still. There were big swirls of blood. The birds were real still. Their beaks a little open. Legs bent, toes curled still. Like the world stopped. And they never caught the gang. But even if they did, what does it matter? They can't make the birds come alive again.
Maddie, turn off your volume. You got it. Picking up another satellite. Awesome. Thank you. We're picking up somebody else's stuff. All right, take it away.
What can that mean? What
stupid. I'll never learn, that's what that means. And you're right. What am I doing here? When nobody wants me, nobody tells me anything, and I sit there in the corner, in the back, and everybody's talking about this all the time, about concepts and precepts and what in the world are you talking about? I don't know what it means. And I'm failing. I'm a failure. Everything I do is garbage. And you're right. You're right. You don't have to tell me. I already know. It's pathetic, isn't it? Thank you.
Hey, Kate, slide over. Should I use the stuff?
I don't want to.
Yeah, use the stuff.
Is this a dagger I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation proceeding from this heat-oppressed brain. I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalst me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood which was not so before. There's no such thing.